Yeah. Hey, what's up, you guys? So we're back. We got Kaylee again, and we have Maddie. And today we're going to talk about Maddie's demonically haunted house. I never went there, so this is their stories. And Maddie moved here, and you moved there in 2012, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So what was the first thing you noticed? Like, the creepy thing?
Like, the creepiest thing that's, like, ever happened was, like, to grab you guys' attention before I, like, even, like, get into the details. Like, basically, there's, like, candles on the bed, and the cabinets would go open, and, like, the lights were on when we turned them off. It was just weird. Like, we went to Walmart one day, and we came back, and there was candles on my mom's bed, and they were lit, and nobody was home.
Guys, oh my gosh.
Like, we were like, what the heck? But anyway, the story is, I was, like, 12, right? So, I thought my mom was, like, messing with me. She'd always tell us stories, like, oh, last night this happened, last night that happened. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. And then, like, she'd always, like, say, oh, this was over here, did you guys move it? Like, asking me and my siblings, and we'd be like, no.
So you didn't initially believe anything was happening?
Yeah, I thought she was messing with me at first, like, stop moving stuff around, Madison. I'm like, I wasn't doing it, you were doing it, stop messing with me, you know? And I was 12, so I wasn't, like, thinking, ooh, ghosts, demons, you know?
Me, I was.
I was like, ooh, ponies.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But, yeah, one night, it all started when we were all, like, not we all. By we all, I mean me and my sister and my mom.
We all.
My mom tucked us into bed, and I have a bed right beside of hers because we had twin beds, but we took them apart. So here's her bed, and my bed was, like, right next to hers, and there's this little hallway space right here. But, like, she was, like, 8 then, and I was 12, okay? And it was bedtime. We had school the next day or whatever, and we were sleeping, right? Or so I thought.
So you thought.
And one night I was sleeping and I woke up to my sister standing on the edge of my bed, like just standing there with her eyes open. And like after all this was over and I went and told my mom, she told me she was sleepwalking, but I don't know, it sounds weird to me.
That is really weird.
But she wasn't walking, she was just standing, but I don't know how that all works.
So did she ever do it after that, or that was like a
that was the only time, like
that's really weird.
Yeah, that was the only time she's ever done that. And like, get this, like she didn't even like, okay, let me just explain everything. She was standing at the edge of my bed, right? And I was sleeping and I went to go turn over and I opened my eyes because, you know, we just flip over and whatever. And she was standing at the edge of my bed. So I was like talking to her and she wouldn't talk to me. She was just staring at me like this, like, I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, go to sleep. And so I grabbed her like this by her shoulders. Sorry, my hands are cold.
They're cold.
I'm always cold.
It's okay.
And then I put her back into bed, right? And she moved, like she wasn't stiff or anything, like she moved, she walked, she didn't say anything, her eyes were still open, she laid back down, she got in her bed and laid back down, like with the covers and stuff, and she rolled over, and I was like,
It's so weird.
Time to go to sleep. So I went back, and like 30 minutes later, I fell asleep, like I was sleeping, and like, I turned over again, and I woke up again, and she was literally doing the same thing, staring at the edge of my bed, and I was like, Julia. And then I noticed, like, it's getting weird because she's not responding to me, so I got worried. And I was like, Julia, like, why aren't you talking? And she was just staring at me. I was like, really? Quit messing with me. And so I pushed, because she moved the first time, so I was like, I thought she was messing with me. So I put her back in her bed again, right? She lays down, does the same stuff, okay? So I'm sleeping, right? I wake up because I have to pee later on. And she's not in her bed. She's not in her bed.
Where was she?
I'm getting there. And I went, so we go out in the hallway, right? And the bathroom's like basically right in front of my door, and there's this long hallway. And all I hear is like my mom and dad watch TV late at night, right? Together. And so all I hear is my mom talking to Julia. That's all I hear. She's like, Julia. All I hear is her calling her name, like Julia, Julia. I wish she was here so she could like tell you guys what happened. Because the next day she had no idea what we were talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
So she went in your mom's room, did it?
No, they were in the living room.
Oh, okay.
But she walked in there because they were watching a movie. But she walks in there, and all I hear is my mom saying, Julia, Julia, Julia. So I was like, okay. So I walk in there, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what the hell's going on? And my mom's like, what's wrong with Julia? I was like, I don't know. I was like, she literally did that. I was like, she's standing at the edge of my bed for 30 minutes. My dad's like, 30 minutes? Don't you think that's a little dramatic? I'm like, no. She was literally standing right there.
You're so sassy about it.
Yeah, I was like, she's standing right there.
Okay.
And like my mom was trying to talk to her, like, Julia, just call her name. And she wouldn't talk to me, my dad, my mom, or anybody. And she was just standing there like this, staring at all of us. And I'm like, wasn't moving her head. Like, I can't remember if she was blinking or not, but like, she was like awake. And my mom put her back to bed. And then after that, I just went to sleep. Like, I didn't even care. Like, so it was just so weird. Like, and then in the morning the next day, me and my mom talked to her about it. She had no idea what we were talking about.
That is so
She's
crazy.
like, I don't even sleepwalk. What are you guys talking about? I was like, you literally were standing at the edge of my bed for like 30 minutes, staring at me with your eyes open. Like, what the heck?
So did you ever have any like when you first got there, did you ever like have that like, oh, this house is creepy?
I mean, yeah, I always thought it was creepy because
Yeah.
like, I don't know, just the little things, you know how houses look creepy and stuff.
Yeah.
But I never actually thought anything would happen, you know, but...
So when did because like I know you and friends there did like Ouija boards and stuff like that, like a lot.
Yeah.
Did that really pick most of the stuff up? Like, did that start a lot of it?
So, like, I'm sure, like, people out there have done Ouija boards before, and, like, you can't really
yeah.
trust your friends because they could be moving the piece and stuff.
Yeah.
So you never know if it's real or not. So, like, I don't really know for, like...
So you didn't believe it?
Yeah, I didn't really believe it. Until, like, things, like... I didn't believe it until the day we went to Walmart and got groceries and came back. Because Christian went with us. Nobody was watching the house. Like, we don't really have family friends because we just moved up there, you know? And my dad's family lived in Rochester, so they're not gonna come all the way over here and let me light some candles on Jen's bed. You know, Jen's my mom. But we came back and we went shopping, had a bunch of fun, came back, and then I went to my room and stuff, and everything was cool. And all I hear is my mom saying, "John, John, John." That's my dad's name. And then they were like freaking out, like she was freaking out, and I went in there to see what they were talking about. And we were in her room, and like all her cabinets were open, and then like in a circle there was like, not like in a circle, but like in the like middle of her bed there was like a candle,
really
just
weird.
one candle lit. Oh, we had candles around the house and stuff, but who's gonna set it in the middle of bed and light it, you know what I mean?
While you're gone, like while you're not
Yeah,
even,
like why? Like that doesn't make any sense. And we lock all the doors and stuff, like so like nobody's can break in or anything. And like it's so weird because things like that's just so weird. I can't explain it. Like how do you explain that? Like I don't know.
So you went over to her house how many times? Like quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becca woke up with scratches on her.
Yeah.
no.
Were you there?
No, I was not
You
there.
were there that night?
No?
But I've woken up with scratches all. I had them from here all the way up my leg.
Did you do the Ouija board with her?
Where, at my house?
Yeah.
She does. There's so many people getting scratched around. She doesn't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember
No.
anything.
So what kind of went down with
But
you?
I know Becca
like when you were there.
woke up with scratches because she made a big deal about it.
Nothing. We didn't do anything like the Ouija board. Oh, said that one time.
Okay.
Well, except that one time.
That one
Yeah.
time.
I did Ouija board a bunch.
But it was late at night. Woke up. I felt this extreme pain in my leg. Like what the fuck? Oops. Oh well.
It's okay.
Was that pain? Like what the hell's going on? So I woke up. I looked down. Like okay, Madison's cat didn't scratch me. They had like it was too big. Like too big of a scratch. It was like I'm not doing it.
How many scratches were there?
2. It was going like
Two?
this. All up my leg.
That's really weird.
It was
Because usually, little hints of information, but like usually if it's like a demonic thing, there's 3, because like 666 kind of thing.
Becca had like 4 or 3 on her leg, and the only reason like I remember that is because she made a huge deal out of it. Like
She still talks about it.
Does she?
It traumatized this girl,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like it was crazy.
and she like won't touch a Ouija board and everything.
I wish she
Like,
was here because like we heard so many weird things that night. Like I remember that night completely. Like we did a Ouija board that night, and like the lights were flickering and stuff, and like it was so weird. I wish Becca was here to like help me tell the story.
weird.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So no, maybe next time we'll have Becca here.
Mhm.
We'll have to get her in there. Yeah. My best friend and our friend Becca, really, she like won't. She's not into that stuff anymore because of what happened to your house. Like she'll even say she's like I didn't even want to go back there. I never would. And how it like she was so scared that whatever happened, like she got scratched or something, and they were playing a Ouija board, and she will not ever play with a Ouija board ever again.
And it sucks because like I have my friends over, and they'll be scared to come over because all the ghosts and shit. Luckily we moved by now and all that, but you know.
Yeah.
I was like 12, and I wanted my friends over to have a sleepover, and they're like, no. I'm
How long
scared."
did you stay there?
Oh God. A couple of years,
A couple years.
like 2.
Did this stuff go on like the whole time? Like
Yeah,
The whole time.
basically.
so it was mostly just stuff moving around. Like you'd find stuff where it didn't belong, and
Yeah, I think the weirdest thing that's ever happened was the scratches. Like,
Did you ever see anything?
Because Becca woke up like bleeding. It was weird.
yeah. Did you ever see anything? Like shadows or?
I mean, I've always seen shadows. Like, I can still see shadows. But, like...
Oh, yeah, I have my own stories about that.
Yeah, I've always seen shadows, like...
Mm-hmm. So, nothing that wasn't out of the
I
ordinary?
literally have so many weird stuff, like, I don't know how to explain, because that's something you can't explain, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's gonna... I don't know how to say it, like...
I'm sure you had, like, that feeling that just, like, oh, there's something here.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. Yeah. I get that here sometimes, but it's, like, only very rarely do I ever get it here. I mean, obviously, my house is, like, 15 years old. I was 3 when we moved here, so it's, like, 16 years old. So, it's, like, there's no reason for stuff to happen here. But, like, Becca's seen things here. Becca's heard things here. John's heard things and felt things here. It's, like, everybody that comes here usually has an experience, whether they feel creeped out or, they hear something like footsteps or something with me, which makes no sense because my house is new. I don't know how old that house was you lived in.
See, I have no idea. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks old from, like, just looking at it, but
Yeah.
you could never know unless I actually ask.
Yeah.
But,
So, well, that's pretty much a sum of
yeah, just a little piece.
a little bit. I mean, there's 2 years worth of information. We can't cram it into
Yeah.
a 20-minute video. So, yeah, that's really creepy. So, have you lived in, like, any other haunted houses since then, though?
The house I live in now.
Really?
But somebody actually died there, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're, like, legally, if somebody dies on, like, I think it's either your property or in the actual house itself, they're legally supposed to, like, tell you, like, hey, I have to let you know that a homeowner died here, or I don't know if it's just the one previously, like, if somebody died, like, 2 ownerships ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have to release that information, but, I mean, if you go after it, you can get it, so, I think you should tell that story on your house, on your channel.
I've always wanted to tell ghost stories on my channel, but I feel like people won't take me seriously.
You never know. So, there you go, guys. There's the creepiness of Maddie's old house.
Yep.
I never went there. I never really went to anybody's house, though. No. So, I never went there, and I'm probably happy that I didn't. Like,
Yeah.
thank gosh. Oh, one other question. Do you think that the Ouija board released it, or it was already there?
See, I have no idea because,
Because it started the whole time.
yeah, it was basically there the whole time. I think the Ouija board just made it worse because basically,
Yeah.
after the Ouija board, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Gosh.
the struggle is real.
The struggle.
Say that
The
about-
ghosty struggle.
I say that about everything.
You do. Oh, this pizza is so good. The struggle is real. That's what I say.
The struggle is
The struggle
real.
is real. Alright, my little spooky boos. Thank you for watching this video. Go subscribe to Maddie Oz. We're working on getting Kaylee a channel. We'll see what we do with that.
Yes,
so
girl.
hopefully we'll get something going. So, thanks. You want to turn off the camera?
Guys.
Bye.
I'm retarded. Hold on. Wait.
It's still recording.